Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Tally Prime Snippet, your YouTube channel for all your Tally basic learning. In today's session, we are about to see how to feed a balance sheet in Tally ERP9 and in Tally Prime. This is video number 3. In our previous video, we saw how to create a company. On previous 2 videos, rather, company creation, alteration, selection and deletion is the part of our previous 2 videos. In today's part, I'm about to show you what is a master creation in accounts information, where we create a group and ledger wherever it is required. Wherever we are going to alter the ledgers, we're going to alter it. A deletion is not a part of our plan at the moment. We are not going to do a deletion here, but I'll create one dimension at last and show you how to delete it. So let's jump into the point. We're about to go to the second part of our introduction of Tally ERP9 and Prime for balance sheet creation. So without further ado, let's get into the screen right now. So in our Tally ERP9, so you know how to log into the company right now. So the first screen will be this if you are using an educational version, and we'll go for the work in educational mode, and you get the first screen here. If you are specifically creating a company in here, then you can pick up the company that you want to create here. So it is up to you what you want to do with it. So you can pick up a particular company in here, and we'll see how we're going to do that part for us. So in our today's video, as I mentioned earlier, we will be creating our company and we will be feeding these balance sheet into a list. So this is the book that I have here. If you want a copy of this book, you can buy this as a PDF edition for you, and it costs you 49 rupees for you. If you want, you can do that. I will add the details at last how you can pay this and get this PDF immediately in your mailbox, and this particular book will be updated regularly and you will get the latest edition. And I'm about to add the Tally Prime book sooner, so if you buy this old book, you will even get the Tally Prime book for free for the same cost of 49 rupees. So let's see how to do that. So I'm going to create a new company right now. So I'm going to go and use our company here. So I'm going to create a new company. So I have all the information here in this list. So the company name is called the Sunrise Agencies, and I'm just not giving any details here, so I'm going to just add this, and I'm keeping the financial year according to the list. Here you can see that the balance sheet is stated on 31st of March, so I'm going to write books accounts on 1/4/2018. So I'm going to just save this company for us, and now we got the first list. When we go to accounts information, so when we want to feed a balance sheet here, so we need to use the ledger creation format or the ledger creation form to fill them up. So here you can see the screens are divided into 4: masters, transaction, utility and reports. I'm going to use masters. I'm going to use accounts info. When I go to the accounts info part, so if you want to navigate into Tally, so you have to understand that how the navigation works for you. If you want to get into another screen, or if you want to drill down or go into the screen, you will press enter. And if you want to come out of the screen and you want to go to the previous screen, you will give escape. But if I want to navigate, for example, I just gone into a particular screen, I just moved on to something. If I want to come back, I can either use an arrow mark here. But when you use an arrow mark, if there is a drop down list comes, if you see on the right hand side, I have a list of group comes in place here. If that comes in here, then it won't go beyond a part. So whenever you have to go back and forth here, so always use a backspace button to go forward. So that allows us to do things. If you want to go forward, enter. Go backward, use backspace. It's better in that way. So that allows you to handle the data better. So when I get into the accounts information, so we saw 4 different keyboard shortcuts: escape to get out of a screen, enter to get into the screen, move within the screen using an arrow mark, and if there is a drop down list comes into play, use the backspace to move the arrow marks upward or downwards. When I go into the accounting information screen, you will see 3 different dimensions here: groups, ledgers and voucher type. In this, we are about to see only the first two component. The voucher type will be separately dealt in the subsequent video. So when I go down to the grouping component, generally in Tally, when you are working with Tally, you won't create a group because you will be having 28 predefined groups already mentioned in here. Probably you will not be in a position to create a group generally. I won't say that you won't create at all. You can create if you wanted to, but 95% of the data that we get in our Tally, we won't be creating a group. We will be concentrating only on the ledger component. So we will create ledger, whatever the ledger that we don't have. So here you can see around 28 predefined groups comes into play. So for example, if you want to learn more about it, you can just get this book. So in this book, I've mentioned it very clearly how many groups we have, how many primary groups out of that, how many of them are subgroups, which are the report that we get these groups coined under, and what are subgroups comes under which header it comes in place, and what are those groups are. So in the balance sheet, I have capital, current assets, current liability, fixed assets, investments, branch and division, miscellaneous expenditure, loans and advances or loans liability, suspense accounts are the group that appears in your balance sheet. In trading account, we get purchase, sales, direct and indirect expenses and direct income. In profit and loss account, we get indirect expense and indirect income. If you're looking for a subgroup under a group, let's say reserves and surplus comes under capital, debtor, stock, deposits, loans and advances, bank and cash account will come under current assets, duties and taxes, provisions, sundry creditors will come under current liability, secured loan, unsecured loan, bank overdrafts will come under loan liability. For the video's sake, I'm just rushing through certain components here. As we go forward, we will see these groups a lot. So at the time of coming to the group, we'll see how we're going to work with it. So these are the groups available there. So by default, we have all these groups. But when I work with a balance sheet, I always have one edge for me that I will check before I do anything and everything here. So this is the balance sheet that I have here. And if you closely watch this balance sheet, whatever I've mentioned in here in capital letter, either capital with italics or only capital, then those are all termed as groups here. So capital account, secured loan, unsecured loan, current liability, sundry creditors, bank overdraft, profit and loss account. So except profit and loss account, all the bold or bold italics characters are all called as groups. And fixed assets, current assets, cash in hand, bank accounts, loans and advances, sundry debtors, everything falls in the group for us. Profit and loss account is not a part of group, it is a part of a ledger. Probably I'll give a small idea or more about it. So when you come to Tally, whether you are using Tally ERP9 or a Prime, you will never create a group on most of the situation. I will not say that you will not at all create group, but most of the situation, group is not demanded from end user. Very rarely we touch that. The same way I can go and check whether I have ledgers also. When I go to ledger, you can see I have two default ledger available. As I told you earlier, even though my balance sheet showed profit and loss account in bold, they are not my group, they are a part of my ledger. In Tally, we have only one primary ledger that is called profit and loss account that is built by Tally itself, and we may not be able to create a primary ledger in Tally by ourselves. But you have two different ledger comes in place. One is cash, another one is profit and loss account. These are the two components that you will definitely use in a normal Tally logics. So if you are working in an accounting, cash and profit and loss account will be a part of your Tally, or any company for that sake will have cash balance with them. At least a petty cash will be there in the list, and profit and loss account will come into play. So before I feed my balance sheet, I have to check whether do I have a cash and profit and loss account here with a value in it, because Tally will only give you the ledger, not the values of your company's data in Tally. So if you want to change them, you can do them by adding a alteration component. So you are going to alter the existing ledger and feed the value alone. So when I go to the cash, you can see the cash point here, and the cash value mentioned in my balance sheet is cash in hand is the group and cash is the ledger name. It says 2250 is the value of it. So I'm going to go and feed the value in here. So now I want to feed the opening balance at the bottom. So to feed the opening balance at the bottom, so I have to jump to the first line to the last line, because my opening balance comes at the last line. I can either give an enter to navigate to that point, or I can just give control end to jump to the point. So I'm using the keyboard shortcut to up and down. To go to the top, I say control home tab, and to come to the bottom, I'll say control end. So here I'm feeding the value here. I won't give commas here, so I'll just feed the value here, and when I give an enter, it automatically pops up whether it's a debit or credit. Most of the time Tally gives you the right answer. So as I chose current assets here, it will automatically be a debit side of your balance sheet. So it will show you debits here. So now I want to add the next part, that is profit and loss account. So the profit and loss account value that I have in here is 2,85,000. So I'm going to feed that, control end again, 285,000, give an enter. You can see automatically it shows you a credit here because I'm having a profit in my company. If it is a loss, I will add a debit in here so that it will become a loss and it will be a part of your asset side. So once I feed this, so my alteration components are over. Now I want to feed the other ledgers, so I'm going to come out of the screen and go to the create ledger part here. Here I can feed one by one. So I'm going to feed the first ledger here. As I told you earlier, all my bold are my groups, the bold with italics and bold, except the profit and loss account last. I've already fed the value there, so I don't want to worry about it. So now I want to feed all the other new ledgers that is not exist in Tally by default. So Swami's Capital is one of the ledger that I have here, so I'm going to feed them right now. I'll say Swami's Capital, and I have to coin this under the group. So the header that comes above Swami's Capital is capital account, so I'm going to say capital account, and then I'll give a control end here, and then I'll add the values here as 5 lakh rupees and give an enter and save it. So once I finish saving that, you can see automatically on the right hand side of my screen, you see the balance that I've added right now. My credit balance have been raised from 2.85 lakhs to 7.85 lakhs now. So likewise, I'm going to feed the next one. So next ledger that I have is called mortgage loan, and this mortgage loan comes as a secured loan. And then I'll come to the last line and I'll say 2.5 lakhs here. The same way, I have one more ledger here called personal loan, and it is going to be my unsecured loan, and go to the last line, I add the value as 1.25 lakhs. Here I have a difficulty because I have two groups here. So I have a current liability here and sundry creditor here. My next ledger that comes in here called central agency with a value of 65,000 rupees in it. So now I'm having a small doubt whether under what group that I have to coin them under. I told you earlier in our previous screen that the subgroup of current liability is sundry creditor and bank account, bank overdraft. That's why it was mentioned in bold and italics. Probably the bank code is not in italics at the moment. I will change that to even the bank overdraft comes under current liability. So when I feed a value in current sundry creditors, it will automatically by default in the hierarchical structure goes under current liability. I'll show you how it's going to work for us. So I'm going to feed our central agency's ledger name here, and then when I come down here, I'll select sundry creditor and give an enter. You can see that automatically comes under sundry or current liabilities here. So I'm going to feed the value here and save them here. There is a screen popped up for us for bill-wise details. I'm not going to concentrate on that particular moment, so I'm going to leave there at the moment, but later on we will come to that, what is it is all about and how it's going to work for us. So when I come down here, and I'll go back to the last line, and I'm continuing with the values here. And this is what the screen that I spoke about earlier, the bill-wise details. In the last screen, I just gave an enter and moved on, but here I want to just show you this once. This will be added a little later. So when we come to the level 2 of our Tally training, at the time I'll tell you what is it. This is a bill-wise details breakup screen. So we'll see that in detail because at the moment I don't have too much of detail about it in my first exercise. So the third supplier is called Newton Business Tools for me. Remember, when you're creating one kind of a ledger or one kind of a ledger belongs to a particular group, then you don't want to go to the under option every time. So now I type the Newton Business Tool. I know that it's going to be under sundry creditor, so I don't want to do anything. So I'm going to jump to the last line because I know that it is automatically coined under that, and I'm going to just type the values alone. So now I got this list. Then finally I'm going to add an overdraft in Andhra Bank, and I'm going to put them under Bank OD. As I told you earlier, now you can see that Bank OD comes under loans and liabilities. It is not a part of current liability. Actually, I gave a wrong answer earlier, so that's why I kept it on the list. So I'll be adding that under loans and liabilities, but again loans and liabilities will be a separate dimensions here. So I will add that in our list to control end, and I'll feed the value as 25 lakhs and save it. Now my left hand side total is tallying here. So my left hand side grand total is 37 lakh 65,000 rupees, and you can see that on the credit side I have 37 lakh 65,000. But still I didn't feed the debit side of the balance sheet yet except the cash. So you can see the differences. Once I feed the entire balance sheet asset sides, probably I will get this particular data tallied automatically. So now I'm going to just feed the next ledger, group them under one dimension, and then add the values here. So let me do a little faster here so that I can explain how this is going to work in our other list in Prime Tally. So I'm not explaining this much, so I will skip this logics. So I'll just show you once the reporting comes into play. So once I feed the entire list, how the data will look like, or at the last ledger creation, I will show you how the ledgers are going to work for us. So I fed almost all the ledgers. I'm just coming back to this final ledger, feeding in here, and then I'm going to feed the value at last. So once I feed all the side of my asset side, all the values now, so now you can see that automatically the opening balance and closing balance, or the opening balance of the debit and credit sides, are tallying automatically. And if I want to see them in a balance sheet point, I'll come out of the screen, I'll go to reporting, I'll go for balance sheet, and I'll press Alt F1 to see the balance sheet point is automatically highlighted. Now I'm seeing a horizontal balance sheet as it shows in the list. If you want a vertical balance sheet, you can make a vertical balance sheet here also. So I'm going to press an F12 here and convert this into a vertical balance sheet here, and you can see that my data are converted into a vertical balance sheet here. So this is how we do deal balance sheet in Tally ERP9. But when I work with Tally Prime, I felt a little more comfortable, because when I teach things, that made my life a little more easier in Tally Prime. I felt it is nice. This is my experience that I'm talking about. So it's up to you to pick which one is good for you and which one not. If you are still happy with Tally ERP9, no problem in it. It still works better. And Tally Prime makes your life a little more easier. You have much more options than what we have in Tally ERP9. So the first point that I wish to show you here is when I get into Tally Prime right now. So I can create a new company again. So I'm going to create a new company, Sunrise Agencies. So as we already know that this is the much shorter versions of Tally, and you can see that the data are done perfectly here. And I'm going to just uncheck or make the GST go away from my list, and you can see that now the screen is very different from what we have here. So when I go down to masters earlier, so I have to have a separate accounting master and separate inventory master. If I activate furthermore, I'll be getting separate payroll master. You will get lots and lots of information furthermore here. When I go down here, I don't have anything as such. So they gave everything in one screen. When I go to create, automatically you can see that it gives you all the information that you're looking forward for. In the earlier version of Tally, you don't see a master creation for currency. So when I get into accounts information right now, if you want a currency to be activated, you have to activate an F11 feature. We don't want to do that in Tally Prime. If you want to activate a godown or a category, if you go down to the inventory part, you have to get the godown and category coming up. This will not come by default. This is not a default component. But when you come to Prime, you will see the category coming up here by default, and godown is coming up by default. So you can do a lot more here, and you can just say show more, so you can see furthermore informations which is there available, and show inactive informations also. So now you can see that you have everything in Tally without activating it. Everything is available. So as you activate it furthermore, so you get all the informations given below. So you can see that you can add all the informations which is given for us here. It includes your payroll masters, statutory masters, statutory details, and you get all your inventories and your cost centers, cost categories, everything. As you activate this, you will get all of them here. So when I hide the inactive component, the data are becoming lesser here. So now I'm going to create a list. The plus point that I really enjoyed in here is when I go down to Tally, this was very useful when we are regularly feeding a data. So if you see, when I go to the ERP and I have a single group, I can create group one by one, and I can create a multiple group here. So this is the advantage that we have, but most of the people don't even know that, or not they use it. People who used to tell them that it is not safe to use a multiple group creation or something like that. So generally this is it's not that well used menu from Tally ERP9, and those menus are not here. So when I go down to list here, you have to create anything and everything one by one. And the advantage that I have when I teach this is, so I'll tell them what are the default ledgers available. So I'll go to the alter option here, and when I give an enter, and you can see all my groups are coming up here. So it shows all of them here. And if I go back to my ledger, it shows all the ledgers that I have here or two. So I'll go to the alter option first. It's not so cumbersome to understand where this, what should I do, what should I do. So this can be curtailed. As a teacher, I felt this is really nice. So when I go down to the alter option, so I can just choose the cache point here, and I can add a value here. And when I go back to this list, I can add the values here. So whatever the groups that I've added there, I can add it. If I want to create, I can either create it from here, or I can just come back to the create menu, start creating them. So I'll say Swami's capital here. And then put it under capital, and then come to the last line, add the values here. So it's typically the same pattern that we work in our list. So it's not going to change much. So let me just take that data that I've worked in Tally ERP9 earlier and convert that into a normal data part. So I'm going to come back to our list here, go to data, and I'm going to migrate this data to Tally from ERP9 to Prime. So now you can see that it shows that these are not belongs to Prime data, because they say Site Self Academy comes in migration required. So it is a Tally ERP9. So I'm going to only change this because I want to see show the report here instead of typing everything and dragging and doing the same component one more time. Instead of doing that, when I give an enter here, it automatically migrates the data for me. So I'm going to migrate the data from Tally ERP9 to Tally Prime. So now when I go back to my balance sheet, you can see the balance sheet that comes in the same pattern, and I can give Alt F1 or F5. For the detailed keyboard shortcuts have been changed here, but still the old shortcut works for us. Alt F1, if I give you, it still works. I don't see the Alt F1 shortcut key here anyway, but still it works. Alt F5 or Alt F1, I can do that. I can get this data point done beautifully. If I want a vertical point, I can just come back to the change view here, which is called Control H. Allows me to change the data vertically. I click the Control H again to change the data horizontally too. So there's not a big differences when it comes to the Prime part, but again, when I normally feed a Prime data part, that is very, very easy for me. The alteration component is easy, and all the other components are very easy to work around. So it's typically the same way what we saw in our earlier list. It comes in the same pattern. So you can see all of them are coming the same screen. The whatever screen that I showed you in the earlier list, the same screen comes even in here. So it doesn't change much. So you can feed the same part. The only thing is the navigation component was far easier, and the keyboard shortcut is a little different. So Alt F1 still works for us, but Alt F5 is the detail mode component for our balance sheet. So this is how we build a balance sheet. We will be seeing how to add a trial balance in our next video. So in this video, I showed you how to feed a balance sheet in Tally in ERP9. The same way we are going to feed the value in Prime 2, but I didn't show the entire list. I just showed you how to alter the data and how to create data. So menu wise, we can jump into everything, and you can do every list that is possible here. So today you learn how to feed a balance sheet here. Hope you enjoyed my video. Hope you learned something new. So this is Vinod signing out from Tally Prime Snippet, your YouTube channel, and we have finished doing our video number 3 in Tally Prime 1.13 release. The difference between the Tally ERP9 and Prime, the way in which we work with the data is defined or explained here detailedly. Hope you enjoy the video. Stay safe, stay updated. Happy accounting.